Welcome to the Striking Sparks podcast, an outreach of the Mid-South Annual Conference of the Global Methodist Church. Join us while we consider how to stir up one another in love and good works. We welcome you to heart-sharpening conversations of iron sharpening iron in Striking Sparks.
Close and personal. Okay. Welcome to this episode of Striking Sparks, our conference podcast and our avenue for getting word out about what's going on in the Mid-South Conference of the Global Methodist Church. We're glad you're here and taking part in this one. We've got a special guest with us to start a new category of podcast for us. We're going to do a series of episodes that are focused specifically on what's going on in your setting, in a given local church setting. And if you are interested in being in on that, you just need to contact the conference office and find the contact for Amy Carlson, and she'll get that word and get it to me as the one who schedules those, and we'll set up a time when your church can tell its story. Today we've got Dustin Miller with us, and he's going to tell us the church that he's with and what's going on in and what sounds like some really exciting days.
Yes. My name is Dustin Miller, and it's just been an awesome adventure so far. But I'm the pastor of Cornerstone Covenant Church. It's in Columbia, Tennessee.
Okay.
We were a church plant. We originally started on the back porch of a parishioner with about 20 people. And we kind of went from that to we ended up in a rented space of a Cumberland Presbyterian church there in Columbia, Tennessee, where we rented their gymnasium. So since that time, we've been set up, tear down, set up, tear down type of in that type of situation. But it's been an unbelievable blessing because during that amount of time, we've been able to put back a substantial amount of money toward a building project that we're working on.
It's timed out perfectly with the building that's become available for you.
It's an amazing situation. Like I said, we've been able to put back about $500,000, and with that, we had still been able to continue to give 20% of our budget toward missions. This church, they're phenomenal. They're a very mission-minded, worker type church. It's a very refreshing thing to be around. But anyway, that the situation came about that we had found a property that was for sale. It was actually a Pentecostal church where the property and the building were owned by the pastor. So there was not a lot of substantial hoops to jump through to make that type of purchase. One of our congregants had heard that there was a possibility that he was going to retire, the pastor there. And she came back and talked to me about that and a couple of other people. And then the next week, we had one of our members that he's one of our best greeters that we have. His name is Mac Holt.
That's a ministry in itself.
It is. But Mac went to church there that next Sunday to kind of see what was going on and take a look at the building and to get an idea. He came back with a report, and then the following week I contacted the pastor there, had a meeting with him, sat down, and we talked. Come to find out, he was raised Methodist, and I don't know the shift and how all that came to be, but anyway, he really enjoyed the conversations that we were having about the things that we were doing, and he said that he would keep us in mind, and that he was expecting maybe, he wasn't positive, but maybe retire by Easter.
Okay.
So that started a kind of a countdown where we were thinking, okay, maybe this might happen, it may not happen. And sure enough, that was in January, right after Easter. I got a phone call from him, and we were told that they were going to be, he was going to be retiring and the property would be for sale. They started out with a bidding process, but it was not your normal type bidding against each other process. It was just what is your best offer.
Yeah.
And he did that because he'd had other people come to him and ask him. He said, "I just want to be fair to everybody too." And he said, "I'm not going to push to get more money or anything like that." He said, "But just what is it worth to you?" And we came out the winner on that bid
That's
type
great.
position, and we started the process.
So how long has that process been going now?
So the process itself has been going for a couple months.
Okay.
But it started out where we were having to get contracts written up, and that was a back and forth a lot because we were dealing with a broker was using out of Texas. We were using Wesleyan Impact Partners, which is out of Texas. Uh, Reverend Todd Chansey had given me their information. Great organization. They saved us tremendous amounts of money
Oh, that's good.
with I think $285 worth of fees,
Yeah.
period,
Mhm.
and also substantially lower interest rates and different options to do. But anyway, that process got started, and then uh, we were notified yesterday that our loan had been fully approved through Wesleyan Impact Partners, and so it's been ongoing for a while. But there's all kinds of things you have to do,
Yes.
to get the ball rolling. You have surveys, and you have inspections, and you have title searches, and I mean it's just all kinds of things. So we have a 50-day window left to continue raising our money,
Mhm.
and then after that, there's a 15-day in between from there to the closing time. So effectively, about we should be closed before the 1st of August or right around that time at the latest. But again, we're still working on the funds, and it's been awesome. It's
Wow.
just been a great thing.
It's fun to be a part of ministry when it's actively lurching forward. Sometimes you see incremental growth and you see, um, sometimes just staying stable feels good,
Mhm.
but you got a lurching forward of momentum.
Well, so and I'll tell you what, I've been one of the big main themes that I've gone on and on about over the last several weeks, and people may be tired of hearing it, but I don't think we can hear it enough.
Mhm.
It's not about a building.
Okay.
Period. You can have the nicest building in the world and have an ineffective ministry.
That's important.
But you may just take, for instance, the money that is being raised for uh, Mozambique
Mhm.
currently.
Right.
That they could take $2,000 and make uh, a church like nobody else has around the area. And
Right.
so again, it's not about just the building. And like I said before, this particular congregation is mission minded. We are involved in the Acts 1-8, uh, the making disciples near and far, to all the different places. And we are engaged right now with 16 local missions. We have regional, also all the way to Thailand now is another group that we fully support, and
Mhm.
so we're trying our best to do that. Uh, and people are just actively involved in that, from the smallest to the eldest member. We had a one of my dearest members turned 95 years old last Sunday, and she got up in front of the church to tell what her favorite church memory was. And the first one she told us was that, well, it was when she and her husband had married,
Mhm.
and she talked about that a little bit. And she said, but the second one was when I pulled in the parking lot to this gym, me and my husband, and he had since passed away.
Yeah.
But she said, this place was home from the beginning, the most welcoming people I'd ever been around, and she's such an asset. Uh, but but again, that, and along with right now, there's 20 plus little kids that are raising money once a month. They take up a collection, and they call it for Noah's Ark. But what they're doing is they're buying animals to provide for families in need
Oh, wow.
over in Africa and other parts of the world.
And don't you know
So
that'll shape those children's lives later on?
it's
Wow.
awesome. It's awesome. All I can tell, the biggest thing that we're trying to do is you know, pour into the kids, pour into the kids, pour into the kids. And you know, and again, and you have to understand there may be some Global Methodist churches right now that are a little bit older, the congregations are, but it doesn't have to stay that way.
Mhm.
You know, God never said stop.
Right.
He said, follow me. And it's not follow me till you're 65 or it's not follow me till you're 75. It's, you know, you begin following me now and follow me always.
I'll let you know when you're done.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you have momentum building that's adding excitement right now. How long has this congregation been in existence from the back porch?
Yes. So they actually met on the back porch a couple of different times. Then they moved over to a junior college that only allowed them to be there for, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before it was just they would allow a temporary thing. Then they ended up in the gymnasium, but it started around 20 to 25 people. And we are, as of last Sunday, I think we're at 112 members
Oh, wow.
and
Over what period of time?
2.5 years.
Wow.
And so and the really another neat thing about that is that on any given Sunday, not many churches can say that you got 112 members and you've got 15 people at church.
That's the way it should be.
That's right. And
Yeah.
so anyway, it's just a very committed group. And again, I mean, they're just motivated and for all the right reasons.
Beautiful. Now, looking ahead and thinking toward once this current process reaches its completion and you have property that you can make use of, what kind of vision do you feel among the people about what they want to do in the space?
That's a good question because we actually have been proposing a question of the week every week for our congregation. And one of the questions is what ministries do you envision in our new building? And I know you notice they didn't say if we get a new building or when. It's like, what do you envision when it happens? Like it's going to happen no matter what. God's in charge of this, and it's going to happen. And it was just an amazing uh, array of different things that people were bringing up. But it was really heavy on kids ministries,
Good.
really heavy on youth ministries, Bible studies, uh, fellowship time together where it may just be where small groups get to meet if they don't meet in another house or something like that. Uh, every kind of event you could imagine, they were proposing, hey, we want to see this happen. And in fact, the list was so long, we can make it happen, but it's just going to take a while. It's one of those things where you just got to pick and do the most, do a little at a time and continue marching forward. But it's one of the things that we've been dealing with is we're in a rented space.
Mhm.
And so we only have that building for just a few hours a week.
Right.
So everything else we've had to figure out ways to do it. And at first it was difficult, but then I looked at it more as a challenge than a problem.
And do you imagine that people will look back on this season and say it was good, the energy that was spent? Yeah.
I think that's going to be one of the most awesome things that they're going to see is they're going to actually see, you know what, I was a part of something so much bigger than me. And I was allowed and able because God allowed me to be a part of something that, it shapes you. And when you see that stuff from the youngest person to the oldest person, and I tell a story a lot. When I was a little kid, I was in a church that burned to the ground. And within a day and a half, we were in another building and having church.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, people came together, and that's what I'm seeing is it's like, it's just it's a group of people that are living life together. So,
Well, God brought his people through time in a tabernacle and then in a temple and then in synagogues. And now we are the temple.
Yep.
The people are carrying the presence of Christ with them wherever they go. And when they gather together, we really experience it. So you're in the middle of a good story.
it's awesome. I'm just glad to be a part of it. I started out as a bivocational pastor.
Mhm.
I was in the United Methodist Church before the split,
Right.
and that's going on about 15 years now.
Mhm.
I was an associate pastor first, then I was a full-time or a part-time local pastor, which is
Right.
still like full-time. But
Yes.
anyway,
Yep.
the opportunity to be aligned with the Global Methodist Church has just, I mean, it's just been so encouraging because it's different, and the difference is you can't look past it. Uh, 10 years ago, I never would have asked my daughter and my wife to come to a conference with me,
Well, yes.
and they love
Huh.
this. It's just it's that different. It's 90% worship, 10% business, where before it was probably the flip side.
Mhm.
And so that's it's just there's really good dynamics that are going on. It's spirit filled, spirit led, and
Amen.
I think we just have a lot of really good people that are giving a lot of their time, devoting a lot of effort to making this denomination grow. And this morning I heard that we are now the fastest growing denomination in the world.
That's the first time I've heard that.
And they said that, and it was actually talked about this morning in one of the sessions that we had. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
It's it just it's just a really awesome thing to see impact being made and things happening. And I used to go to meetings all the time, and I would say, "I gotta go to a meeting to go to another meeting about the next meeting," that kind of thing, right? But when I like where I am now, when I go to a meeting, uh, we set up an agenda, we set up things that need to get done, we talk about it, we leave, and when we come back to the next meeting, it's done.
Yes.
It is such a blessing because it's unlike a lot of other places, so I'm very
Yes.
blessed.
Well, thank you for telling the story about it, and it's a encouraging spirit of we're part of something larger than ourselves,
Mhm.
and we see it as the global application of that the denomination is impacting more than any of us could on our own. But we wanted to hear the story of how the people in the local setting are feeling like they're part of something larger than themselves.
Well, and I wanna encourage a lot of the smaller plants that are going on, even the ones that are in homes,
Mhm.
the ones that are bouncing around from place to place, whatever the case is. I want to encourage them because I'm here to tell you the world needs Christ,
Mhm.
and that's what our whole job is about. And it doesn't matter if we're in a huge building, a small building, if we're out at a picnic table, it's all the same. And we and God will provide. That's another thing too that I've just been so amazed with is all along our journey, every time that we turned a corner, God made it happen.
Mhm. Wow.
From the building that we're in, to the chairs that we sit in, to the furniture that we have, I mean, it's just one thing after the other. And this last building, I mean, it's amazing. We had been in situations looking at other places that we figured out, that's not the right fit. That's not for us.
Well, it just eases up a whole lot of tension and worry when we lean into
Oh, we
what
can,
God is doing in all of this.
yeah,
And
yeah, we can either sit around and be frantic,
Mhm.
or we can rest in Christ. And so I'm here to tell you it's a really, really good feeling to know that I'm not in charge of it, that
Mhm.
it's going to happen, and God's in control.
He's a good, good God,
Yeah,
and He's got us.
that's right.
Dustin, thank you very much for this time. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yes, sir. And if there's anybody that wants to know a little bit more about our church, we have a Facebook page,
Mhm.
and you can look that up. You just basically have to put Cornerstone Covenant Church of Columbia, because
Okay.
evidently it gets mixed up with all the covenant and cornerstones around the country.
Sure. Yeah.
But Cornerstone Covenant of Columbia. Uh, Tennessee, you can put that in there too, but you search that. It's a really great Facebook page, a lot of information,
More of the
and
story there.
yes, and I would love to talk to anybody that has is going through the same type situations or anything like that. I'd like to offer what I can,
Great.
and if I can't, I'd love to try to find somebody that can, because I'm telling you, I got a lot of help along the way, and I very much appreciated every bit of it.
Sounds like you're all in now.
Yes, sir.
Great. Well, thanks for this time, and thanks for being with us and taking this time in. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Striking Sparks podcast, an outreach of the Mid-South Annual Conference of the Global Methodist Church. We pray you found some enriching and engaging conversation to take with you today. If you're watching us, please like and subscribe on YouTube. On Apple and Spotify, we ask that you follow and leave us a 5-star review. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics in the future, please email us at strikingsparks@midsouthgmc.org.